The customer came in with the complaint that the check engine light was on. After connecting a scan tool, I found the code P0118, engine coolant temperature sensor 1 circuit high. This code typically indicates that the engine coolant temperature sensor is providing a higher than normal signal, which can prevent the engine from adjusting the air-fuel mixture properly, leading to poor performance or damage. To diagnose the issue, I monitored the live data from the scan tool at idle and observed that the engine coolant temperature sensor parameter intermittently dropped out. This pointed to a possible fault in the sensor or its wiring. I then inspected the engine coolant temperature sensor wiring harness and connector, but I didn't detect any obvious faults. I checked the wiring thoroughly because a loose connection or frayed wire can often cause erratic sensor readings. To further investigate, I used a multimeter to check for the presence of voltage and ground at the sensor connector with the ignition on and the engine off. Both were present, confirming that the sensor was receiving power as it should. Next, I checked the continuity of the engine coolant temperature sensor using the multimeter. Continuity is essential for the sensor to work properly, and I found that there was no continuity, which confirmed that the sensor itself was faulty. Based on these findings, I replaced the defective engine coolant temperature sensor, cleared the codes from the ECU, and performed a road test. After the test, I verified that the vehicle was operating properly, the check engine light remained off, and no fault codes returned. The key takeaway here is that diagnosing a P0118 code involves testing both the electrical supply to the sensor and the functionality of the sensor itself. By using a multimeter to check voltage, ground and continuity, I was able to confirm that the engine coolant temperature sensor was faulty and replace it to restore the vehicle's proper operation.